Son of former world champion boxer Nikita Tszyu, the legacy athlete, is set to make a name for himself in the world of boxing. But the sport comes with its own hardships. You want to know more about Nikita Tszyu and one of the questions that he refuses to answer? Keep on watching for all the interesting details. Let's begin. First up is the one question that Tszyu refuses to give an answer to. Nikita Tszyu comes onto the boxing scene as a bit of a legacy child. The son of undisputed world champion Nikita Tszyu has a younger brother of current #1 Australian super welterweight champion Tim Tszyu. The pressure is on for him to live up to many expectations. It's obvious that boxing is an extremely dangerous sport, and you can legally get killed or injured for life with one fight just gone wrong. Even apart from the grueling fights, the pressure is on for boxers in days and nights before their fights. And for a legacy kid, the pressure is 100-fold, especially in Australia. As the son of someone who's considered a national sports hero in their country, with a star brother who currently has 21 wins out of a 21-fight record, all eyes were on this former junior champion since his first professional fight against Aaron Stahl, where he dealt his opponent a crushing defeat, announcing to the world that the newest Tszyu had finally arrived on the scene. After Fox Sports' Warren Smith asked, the boxer admitted that he was nervous at first, but that it was more fun than studying architecture. His first performance was described as flawless by his brother Tim, and even by boxing legend Jeff Finich described him as special, saying that he would get better and better. Up next, Nikita Tszyu talks about the struggles that come with the sport. The pressure is on for boxers in their fights, and one struggle that this guy insists only boxers can relate to is a lack of sleep at night. The boxer recently made a splash with his debut fight, which he won with a technical knockout, earning him praise as the next Tszyu to take up the boxing mantle. But even if all eyes were not on him for the sake of his family name, the boxer admitted that the feelings before a professional fight are something only another fighter would understand, as there are some things that only those fighting in the ring can relate to and provide solidarity for. Early in May, at his press conference at the Bondi Boxing Club at Waterloo, Nikita mentioned that his brother, who was also present at his first fight, was constantly checking up on him and giving him advice every day. While he undoubtedly has a supportive team, he said his brother asked questions only a fighter who had been in the ring would know, and that was such a relief to have him, as it meant that he could ask him anything and he would just understand it, as he had already been through it. And now on to Tszyu mentions how sleep is hard to come by for boxers. At his press conference at the Bondi Boxing Club in Waterloo, Nikita Tszyu was asked about his brother, professional boxer Tim Tszyu. The newly debuted boxer admitted he was receiving a lot of support from him. Nikita said that Tim asked questions only someone who had been in the boxing ring would think to ask. When asked what sort of questions those were, he said that they were regarding sleep, specifically how and how much he'd been sleeping, how he was recovering from injuries and disconnecting from boxing. These are questions that he refuses to answer in front of the media. They're private to him. How he deals with stress and strain that comes from being in such a harrowing sport is no doubt something that the boxer would want to keep to himself. The boxer also said that this was only possible because his brother went through the exact same thing. He went on to say that these things were the things that no one had ever asked him. Nikita's words once again shed light onto the often violent and dangerous nature of boxing. He said that the sport always was on the boxer's mind, and they were constantly preparing him to go into battle. The boxer aims to find the right balance between a quiet and crazy that comes with being a professional in the sport. Why Nikita Tszyu does not shy away from his spotlight. As the son of national sports hero and boxing legend and little brother of Australia's reigning #1, quietly climbing the ranks was not an option for Nikita Tszyu. He knew that as soon as he announced his return to the sport after focusing on his studies the past few years, every single camera lens would be on him with his surname like this. I knew no matter what happened, there'd be a spotlight on me. The boxer was aware that the pressure was on to live up to his family name, and as much as he might have liked to keep quiet, he didn't intend to shy away from the spotlight. While the attention will bring many opportunities that he's grateful for, Nikita admits that it's too soon to call him a future star, as he still needs time to prove himself with more fights. And that's all on the one question boxer Nikita Tszyu refuses to answer. Time to move on to some other interesting news, though. Next, another interesting news. Dmitry Bivol, his best is still ahead, following fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. The two boxers clashed recently in Las Vegas in a quest for the WBA title, and Dmitry Bivol was able to defend himself in a rocking victory which catapulted him onto another level. The Russian has held the WBA title since 2017, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be giving it up anytime soon. The world's best heavy lightweight went up against the world's best super middleweight and managed to deal him a crushing super defeat when what came as a shock to many viewers. Alvarez had been expected to at least put up a good fight, but the match ended with the champion defending his title with an undisputed victory. Dmitry Bivol won the fight in a unanimous decision, with all three judges putting forward a 115 to 113 score, dealing his opponent only the second loss in his entire career, almost 9 years following his first at the hands of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And not only did Bivol defend his crown, he also leveled his record up to 20 wins out of 20 fights. Dmitry's promoter had something to say when he told people that his best was still ahead. He believed that calling the fight his best would be undermining his ambitions, and he told people that looking forward to a rematch between the two was a good idea. Former IBF welterweight champion Kell Brook announced his retirement. After an illustrious career spanning almost 2 decades starting in 2000 2014, Kell Brook has decided to throw his hat into the ring and leave boxing for good. In what came as a bit of a shock for fans, Brook, aged 36, announced that he'd be leaving the sport for good after discussing it with his family and friends. Just this February, Brook finally defeated his arch-rival Amir Khan in an iconic fight culminating in a 6-round knockout at the AO Arena in Manchester. The fight was a long-anticipated battle between the two, and it was designed to settle scores. It seems that this win gave Brook peace, and he decided that this would be a good place to end his career. With an exemplary track record, Brook has 40 wins out of 43 total professional matches, with 28 of those being from knockouts, and the rest being from judge decisions. His only 3 defeats came from opponents Gennady Golovkin, Terence Crawford, and Errol Spence. The boxer realized he had nothing left to fight for, and mentioned that his family and friends, particularly his mother, were relieved by his decision. He admitted that boxing was a very dangerous sport, and he was lucky to be retiring with all of his faculties about him. What's next for women boxers Lovlina Borgohain and company? The Women's World Boxing Championships will be commencing soon in Istanbul, Turkey, and with the most successful 6-time world champion Mary Kom choosing to be absent from the scene to focus on Commonwealth Games, Borgohain is going to be leading the team. The 24-year-old is more than suited, being an Olympic bronze medalist who's be returning to the ring for her first fight since the win. The entirety of the 12-member Indian team is composed of some pretty well-known names, including the world junior champion Nikita Tszyu, twice Asian champion Pooja Rani, and 2014 silver medalist Sawiti Bura. Nevertheless, it seems that all eyes are going to be on Lovlina Borgohain as she aims for a maiden world champion title after a journey which has gained her significant media attention. The boxer's first fight is against Chinese Nian Chin Chen, who won at the Thailand opener, while Borgohain has not had a hard fight in almost 8 months. The two are also known to have a fair bit of history standing in each other's way in different championships. The one silver lining here is that Lovlina will end up avoiding Olympic champion Busena Surmaneli, who dealt her a defeat at the semifinals in Tokyo. And that's a wrap for this video. Will you be watching Nikita Tszyu's next fight? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.